these rounds.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Session 1 of Dark Heresy 2nd Edition. This session is called The Inquisition. I have people here who know a lot about 40k, people who know moderate bit about 40k, and people who know like jack shit about 40k. So we're all here to have a fun time. Shut the fuck up. And enjoy our time here, except for Squishy.
Oh, damn. Savage.
I was like, why do I hear myself? I'm like, oh, I never muted my stream. That's kind of crungo. I was like, why am I really quiet in the background? What the fuck?
Oh.
Who just did that?
Wait until that
Cease
stream audio
this.
is just a feedback loop forever.
Do not do that again.
Do not do this again.
I roll 1 to see how the dice are gonna be today.
Do I sound okay?
Yes.
Wonderful.
You sound fine.
That's what I
Hey,
like.
sounds fine.
Check that you're recording your voice.
I am. I see my voice thingy moving, and I'm actually moving the screen. Way to go, self. You were the best person ever to ever stream.
I see how it is, game.
You because you suck at life.
Wow. Freaking laying it on heavy early. Let's go.
Alright.
Anyways, let's get to this game, brother.
Alright, so.
Yeah.
Last that I put in chat, I'm going to reread it for all of you. You find yourself in the Hall of Bright Star, an Imperial-class frigate. You all are awaiting a briefing from Inquisitor Braxis. Though the job is unknown to you, you know it pays. The sounds of the ship humming in your ears slightly. Every now and again you can hear over the broadcast box within the ship squeal to life, giving orders to the crew and the ship. A servo skull seems to also be watching you from a height impossible to reach. You all have not met or even interacted as you sit there across one another. So, before we start with the RP, we're going to go in a circle. We're going to start, let's see, odds start left, even start right. Alright. We're going to start with Squishy. Red, please describe your character and what your character is currently doing as you await to be spoken to by this Inquisitor.
Okay. So she's sitting down at the table, kind of looking about, kind of bored. Her hand is trembling a little bit. And sometimes she flips the red mohawk back a bit, some on her head. Oh. Just waiting for the Inquisitor to arrive.
Alright, Leary.
Okay. So, Leary stands relatively tall at 5'8". Wearing, which is not perfectly portrayed yet, but she's wearing some red robes usually seen around where psychers wear. She has auburn hair, brown eyes, fair skin. Seems to be just calmly, just sitting down, trying to look proper for whichever Inquisitor tends to come is going to assign them their job. Doesn't seem like she's here for the money, more as a something she can do. On her armor, or on her robes, that looked a bit armored. You can see it. From the angle that she's at, she seems to be blessing her, or what is it? What's it called? Oh yeah, she seems to be has a little incense hovering over her last pistol as she waits for the Inquisitor.
All right, Vintium.
Um, Ventium is standing towards the rear of the room, arms crossed, looking on edge, which isn't something he's used to being. Being about 5'10", of a fit build, having spent most of his life in the Imperial Guard, being from Cadia. He knows that it's not typical that someone in his position gets called to meet with an Inquisitor. So this has him on edge, almost as on edge as he felt when Cadia fell.
All right. Atla? Atla?
Alta.
Oh,
Alta.
Alta. All right, there we go. A wonderful DM. I never mess up.
So, standing in the corner of the room where she has good eye lines at all the possible entrances and exits, is a woman with ash gray skin, red eyes, white hair. She's in a brown robes with a white tabard. Just looking down at the floor and being kind of just watching everything as she's waiting.
And last but not least, Lana.
So Lana sits at the table. She is a little bit of a confusing character. She sits there relaxed, leaning back against the chair as her fingers tap idly against the armrest. Part of her seems that she is just relaxed and lounging about, just waiting, but her mannerisms speak a different tone as she continues to tap and her eyes shift between the individuals that she sees and then up to the surveillance. And then she just lets out a quiet hum, just loud enough that everyone can hear. And then she just continues to watch.
As you let out that hum, you notice that the servo skull, which, so you understand, it's literally a human skull with technology inside of it. You would know that there is still a living brain of a human inside this, but it has been basically mind wiped in order for it to function. And it kind of floats down.
Lobotomized.
Lobotomized. Yep. And it just kind of looks around the table.
Please state your directive.
Was it directed at the group?
That was directed to Lana since the Psi happened.
Okay.
Oh, my directive?
Yes, yes, it's to ask what is your directive.
Lana just shrugs slightly. I'm just here waiting. Just interested to hear what our mission, I guess, is.
Do you require any aid?
Can you say that again? I didn't understand that.
Do you require
'cause you
any
might-
aid?
Coots, you might want to.
Oh, I know what's wrong with it.
A little bit.
I know what's wrong
Yeah,
with it. Hang on. I will do it again. Do not lose the illusion.
Immersion broken.
Do you require aid?
There we go.
Lana wears a tight mask against her face, but you could tell based on how it pulls taut against her cheek that she's smiling as she leans forward onto the table, her fingers lacing together. A drink would be lovely, preferably something of the harder nature.
The servo skull then turns and moves to Atla and
Do you require anything I could provide?
Nothing right now, thank you.
and then goes to Vitium.
Do you require anti-nerves? You are showing signs of psychomotor agitation.
No.
That then flies over to Leary.
No.
And it flies over to Red.
Do you require anything?
Larry reacts to the servo skull, ignoring her with a slight shake of her head, and just muttering to herself, "Nothing changes in the Imperium."
Red shakes her head. No.
Service
nothing.
skull, once you say no, it just immediately flies up into the ceiling and it disappears down a corridor you can't see. It seems to be directed for servo skulls. At this point, you hear the doors open for where you're currently at, and in walks a man. He's about 5'10", black overcoat, white, more beige pants with high black boots, a kind of like a red surcoat almost, but buttoned over, creating a 3-layer buttons, like slimming as they go down, with the crest of the Imperium upon it, with a very military style officer's cap adorn his head. It's red and also has an Imperium sign on it with basically a branded eagle. He walks in and looks at all of you and goes, "You lot here for the meeting?"
Yes, sir.
Ventium snaps to attention and salutes and says, "Yes, sir."
Leary puts away her incense for feeling that she properly sanctified her weapon, puts it on her head, and looks to the Inquisitor, giving them a very, very polite bow. "Yes, Inquisitor."
Red, are you doing anything?
Just
Lana, are you doing anything?
She just cans her head slightly at the individual and stares.
He walks in, shuts the door, immediately turns and looks at Ventium, who's still standing in the position of attention, saluting. "Does it look like I'm an officer? I'm an Inquisitor! Sit down!"
Ventium stops saluting, sits.
Jeez, they did not teach you this in the Cadian military.
"Yes, sir."
Blasted Australia militarum. Alright, so I brought all of you here for a very, very special mission. And while it might sound kind of ironic, saying it somewhat sarcastically, but we got a problem. I think you will be the best people to solve it. So, who here is from a hive world?
Red raises her hand.
Lana just barely waves her fingers at the Inquisitor.
Wonderful, we got 2 people. You all ever hear of Leuston?
Oh, what was that? It glitched out. Sorry.
Leuston. I will spell it in chat for you guys.
Sorry.
You're fine.
I
Remember-
didn't hear the question, really.
Man is speaking in hieroglyphics.
Remember, if either
Where'd you get an S?
I don't know. If Lana or Ventium need any help understanding the lore, feel free to pause and ask questions. That's what's going to help you best learn this world and help you kind of accommodate.
Question.
Yes.
What is that?
Yeah.
What is what?
What is
What you just posted.
Luden.
That is the name of the hive.
Not a
The hive city that he's sending all of you.
Luton.
He said, have you heard of Luton?
Can I roll something to see if I have?
You sure can. You can roll me a...
Same here.
So everybody who is not a hive worlder, you can roll me a... Let's see. Um, you can roll me a. Jeez, if I can find what I'm looking for. Common lore with a +10. Anybody from a high world can roll it with +20. The way you add the +20 is down the bottom left corner. You should see modifier. Click on that 0 and put in 20 and roll your die.
Okay, where can I find common lore and walk me through how to roll it again?
Yep, you're good.
Lore.
So what you do
Com-
is you go to skills tab on your right hand side of your character sheet.
Mm.
You look for common lore,
Mm-hmm.
and then you just double click that. Well, you put the modifier in first, which is at the bottom left hand corner. Put in a 10, as you're not a high holder. And then you're
You
going
said a
to
10 or a -10?
a 10.
High number bad, low number good.
Actually.
So wait.
Yes.
From where I'm Hive World, what do I put? Do I put anything in the?
So what I discovered is you're putting in a 20. From actually what I learned is putting in pluses is good in this. Actually, it raises the what you have to get.
It raises the amount
Yes.
that you have to
Yeah,
roll
my
out
bad.
under.
So in
Also,
that
my
modifier,
rolling-
put 20 and then roll common lore. Do you see it, Santoyo, in your skills?
Yeah, I see common lore. I've
Yep.
got common lore guard,
is-
so I'm assuming I use just
That-
the regular common
Yep,
lore.
that's 17 right there. Just double click it.
Do I use underworld or just the regular one?
Regular one.
Alright.
Already
Buggers.
with a hot roll comes in Lana. So, most of you have not heard of Luden. Lana, you have heard of Luden. You know this area is quite well known for its gangs and for its trade of slot. It is actually one of the highest producers of slot in any hive city. You also know that there is a lot of speak of heretical things that happen in the Undercity, but it's kind of shoved under the table to provide for their main manufacturer, which is Lehman Russ, a battle tank used by the Imperial Guard. That was too much information, too fast. You let me know, and I'll explain it more.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I thought you're. I think I got it.
Okay.
Might just need
My
like
takeaway
bullet
from
point.
that is place makes lots of drugs, but place also make tank.
Yes. So, do you raise your hand with knowing it, or do you keep your hand down, Lana?
Lana just very lightly waves again.
You notice he kind of looks at you and smiles. That's wonderful. Well, at least we got one person here with some knowledge about some deep-sheeted shit. Also, my apologies. Inquisitor Praxis could not make it. I'm Inquisitor Crucius. I bid you all adieu. So, we've known there's some things that happen in here. And our job's not to kill the whole body of the serpent, merely to kill its head. We know that there's definitely somebody inside a higher position inside of the Hive City that is almost controlling the masses, some would say. I'm basically sending you lot down to go and investigate this. Now, the reason I'm using you lot, not me, is if I sit down on that planet, the whole place is going to go in uproar and I'm probably going to be killed by like 600 people. You lot, they don't know you. You're going to be a face in the crowd that no one's ever seen. So I got 3 of you, and then you got an Astra Militarum and a licensed psyker. As much as that pains me to say. So, any questions?
How long has this been going on for?
Unknown. It's been going on for a while.
How
Will we
many
have any
atten-
support on-
Go ahead.
Will we have any support on the ground?
Yeah, yourselves.
I have a slight question.
Yeah.
How many attempts have been taken at this?
You'll be the second attempt. The first attempt was mauled by gangers, and then their bodies were put on display.
Oh, quite lovely.
That's about right.
Alright, well, want to make sure you're going to be kicking this off with a bang, so I figured out you'd like to gather the most seated shitty people we can get and send them off.
Larry kind of like clears her throat a little. Oh, have there been any signs of demons?
In terms of diamonds, we have not seen any that have been reported to the Inquisition, nor to the higher ecclesiarchy of the Hive City. However, more than likely there's definitely some what fuckery happening down there.
I guess I will be the first hand to experience if they're here or not.
That's why you're licensed.
Indeed.
Lana just kind of looks across the way at Leary, an eyebrow raised.
Larry notices psychers. We can sense demonic energies due to our connection to the warp.
Interesting.
If you were curious, that is.
Quite curious. Go on. She looks back to the Inquisitor.
1 second.
Question.
Larry, we're not just gonna be like, alright, everybody's dead. What's your question, Santoyo?
I'm just wondering, is that because my character's from Cadia and in the guard, does he have any sort of like predisposition to psychers, or is he just kind of indifferent?
You're
Or just, like,
indifferent.
no.
Okay.
You know, based upon a purity seal that is adorned upon Leary, that she is licensed and sanctioned to use psychic abilities. Unlike people who just willy-nilly use their powers and kind of feed the warp, this person has been trained to use the warp.
Okay, so I'm indifferent, but I kind of know that they understand what they're doing and they're capable.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. What is it? If you do investigate, it is a seal from the Adeptus Astra Telepathica, which is one of the more major psychers.
It's the organization that
Troyans.
trains the psychers, determines if they get turned into juice for the Emperor,
And
or if they
being
get
here
sanctioned.
and not Jews.
It's a
is
good
good.
thing.
It's a slightly
means-
better thing.
It bodes well.
For me, at least.
It means Leary knows her shit. Anyway,
Until it backfires.
yeah.
Alright. kind of clears his throat a little bit, and when he does, the servo skull drops down from the ceiling and puts a kind of like a dark brown looking substance in front of Lana, and has another one start spinning around, just looking at all of you, very confused.
Who was the second to get drink?
Lana smiles beneath her mask as she takes up the drink and sifts it behind her mask and proceeds to down it healthily.
Larry gently closes her eyes and just smiles. I'm sure I'm not invited to this, so I'm not going to even bother asking. She mentions
Inquisitor
to
kind
the
of
servo skull.
leans against the corner hearing this. Alright, servo skull, sanctioned! You have to be nice! You can't just sit there and be an ass! Servo skull kind of turns around.
Directive must avoid warps.
Yes, it's a psycho! By the throne. Give me the drink!
Lana just shrugs her shoulders. Well, I simply thought it was a rather helpful skull.
The skull flies up, like I said, and he kind of looks at you just drinking this. He goes, tech priests and all the gotta stand. The Mechanicus doesn't. They believe that is better than she is. Don't get me started. There's a whole new mess of them, anyways. I'm not gonna deal with. Anyways, where was my manners? Please, since all of you have been sitting here quietly, from what I've received intel, please introduce yourselves to each other.
Lana looks around, sees that no one is volunteering, so she removes the drink as she shifts it down the remainder down to the Inquisitor. You look like you need a drink, my friend. My name is Lana, and, well, there's not much to be told about me. I've taken this job to further my knowledge on the ongoings of the area. There's not much more to that than just I'm here to be of helping hand. She sits back down promptly and allows the next person to move on as she waves her hand at the Inquisitor to partake in the drink that she offered.
Well, the Inquisitor's having no problems already doing so.
Alta steps forward and goes, I'm Alta. I'm here to be paid. And then she steps back to her position in the corner again.
Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, do we want to... I was going to
Oh.
ask, do we want to just go down the line from left to right?
I'll just.
I mean, I was
Yeah,
gonna go
go
next,
for
but
it.
I had a question.
Yes, what's your question?
So obviously my character was on Cadia and fought on Cadia when it fell, right?
Mm-hmm.
Does he have like a? I don't think we like when we did character creation. I don't think we went over like ranks or anything that they would have. Or my character has
How old is your character?
24
You would probably be a sergeant.
sergeant.
Mm.
You lived longer than 15 hours, you're good.
Lived longer than 15. Got it. All right. Ventium stands up from the table and just Sergeant Ventium. Cadia. Final battle for Cadia. I'm here to serve the Emperor however I can.
Leary gets up. My name is Leary. I am, as you already know, I am a psyker. I was tasked here by the Adeptus Astra Telepathica to find any disturbances in the warp in this area, things of the like. Try to either mitigate it or at least definitely was stationed here to assist with this assignment. Payment isn't necessary, of course.
And
Just, yeah, she sits back down.
Red will stiffen up in her chair and look to the group. Most people call me Red. Not much else to tell. Just, I might be pretty good here. Good for where we're going. Had a few scuffles with gangs myself.
Inquisitor kind of claps his hands together, just wonderful. Now that we're all acquainted. That means hopefully you won't murder each other in the first 15 minutes of dropping on the planet. That would look kind of bad for me and, well, all of you, because you'd be dead. Hopefully we can avoid that, because you all do have a financial price on your head now that you're working with us. I wouldn't say
Leary kinda
substantial, but
raises her hand.
yes.
She's like, "Well, this is quite illegal for me to even do that in the first place."
It is, and I would have to execute you. But I would hope not to execute you. All you just got here, and I don't mind executing the new sorts I get.
I don't intend to be executed.
Alright, that's good. Just remember, don't be a carker, and it'll be good. Alright. So, we're gonna be there pretty soon. We're currently actually going through a warp storm. We sit here, Gallifield's active, thankfully. We're not being ripped into the warp, so that's always a plus. So, I recommend you all start heading your way down to the shuttle bay, hop on side of a drop ship, and we'll drop you on the planet. Before I do, though, I need to ask, would you rather appear as something you're not? We can get something just made up if you want us to. Well, we have a lot of just random adepts here that can definitely make it very credible looking, what's the best word for this? Documentation, so that if you want to appear as someone else, we can easily do that for you lot.
Red will point to her face. I don't think you could change this too well.
Oh no, it's just documentation. We can't change that monstrosity.
I wouldn't mind some change of documents.
There's someone the Administrator will like.
I believe I would. Oops,
Is it truly necessary for us to conceal our identities for this?
It's not necessary for this, no. It's just, if you want to. Let's say you know somebody in the planet, which I doubt most of your swords do, seeing that Sue's the only one that did. It's more so that if something happens, you immediately have a good way. What just happened? Why did it... Oh, that's why everything stopped. So I was like, what's going on? Stupid sorted music. Oh, ambience.
My immersion is broken.
Everything went silent. What?
That was a little weird because I was sitting here like not quite sure if Coots is Coots or still in character.
Oh, I will stay. I stay in character for a bit. It takes you a lot to peel away from it.
Is the Inquisitor losing his mind over music now?
Larry's like, do you hear them too?
Sir, I do believe that the ship has stopped.
So, basically, like I was saying, if you get the records, it's there to basically hold your identity in case you know somebody or in case something goes down. You won't be banned from the planet entirely if you end up killing a high-ranking official or for being a heretic. Remember, innocence proves nothing.
I would prefer the documentations, yes.
Alright, there's two!
Team just kind of nods his head and says, I'll take
There's three. It's
I
Go ahead.
Larry's. I believe it's better for me to keep my documentations. I don't believe I know anyone here. I've been on Terra for many years, training as a psyker.
I forgot you were on Holy Terra. What about you?
Indeed.
Person who can't change their face?
I haven't got... I doubt I have friends or anyone I know there.
Alright. 3 and 2, that sounds wonderful.
I do have a question though.
Yeah.
Can we pick our documentation?
I mean, if you'd make your name and your profession, you sure can. It's up to you. Just go to the Ministerium and they'll be able to write up some things for you.
Alana nods and promptly raises from her seat. If anyone would like to join, to make sure that your name is at least pleasant whenever you make it down there. I'd hate for anyone to get an odd name.
Well, given that I am withdrawing from this suggestion of attaining new documents, I believe I will simply go to my chambers and attempt to calm my thoughts. I believe you understand what I mean, Inquisitor.
Oh, that I do.
If there's nothing more, I would like to attend to that matter.
You free to roam the ship. You're here as freely as much as I am.
Thank you. And she gets up from her seat, gives the Inquisitor a light bow, and makes her way to her chambers.
Alright. So, you go to your chambers. What are you doing, Red?
What?
What are you
Oh.
doing? Since you're not getting a
Fuck.
fake identity.
I'm not getting a fake ID. Um, other than like vibing.
You see
Just
Red
hang
T-pose
out.
in the corner and begin to fly up
Just-
to the servo skull.
Hang out till the rest of the group gets their identities,
Alright, you're just gonna hang out and vibe.
pretty much.
Lana, Alta, and Ventium. You all make your way further inside the bowels of the ship, being led by the Inquisitor. If y'all want to talk while we walk, that's fine. Just let me know. If not, I will have you guys arrive at the Storm.
Lana doesn't really talk, but everyone can tell that she has definitely a little bit of a quirk to her as she moves. Everything that she does is purposeful, although she seems rather fidgety. So her arms might sway a little bit more than normal as she walks, and she has a tendency to kind of not walk. She's not walking in an inebriated manner, but she has a tendency to move from one way to the other, left to right, as they move, kind of almost like a zigzag, but with an odd purpose to it.
At the moment, Alta's just kind of staying back from the other two and observing them. And if they look back at her, she's moving in such a way as to not draw attention. And just trying to blend in as much as possible.
Ventium, are you pulling a me and just marching down as you walk?
Pretty much, I'm just very professionally and quietly following the Inquisitor.
Alright. You all round a few corners. It takes about 15 minutes to reach this part of the ship, and before you see a large area of scrolls and an old man, kind of a white puffy sideburns balding at the top, wearing long robes with an imperial crest upon it, kind of like looks down from this tall desk at you as you walk in, and the Inquisitor looks, "Alright, this place gives me the creeps. I'm out. You need me, let me know. You got my Vox information. Bye." And he just kind of walks off, like, in mid-sentence. And this old guy kind of, like, leans forward, creaking as he does, the chair behind him making slight creaks and a pop. And it's, "Is this who we have to get change of identification?"
Alta will step forward and go, "Give me whatever you got."
"Are you sure? We have a lot to do. Want to hear the options?"
No. No need.
Alright. He kind of reaches forward and grabs a scroll and looks at it.
You're now strongest.
No, scrotum.
Face
What?
your alias or your new identification will be known as Quan. Quanne. You are there to engage upon biometric readings of the smog to see what is livable inside of a hive city. He kind of hands it to you very shakily from his tall desk down at you.
I take the identity and I start to,
Make sure you write down your false identities.
look at and try to get into the new character.
Alright, is the next one going to be the strapping young man or the dashing young woman?
Ventium steps forward. I'll take the next identity.
By your physique, you could be a space marine. Ignore what I just said. He kind of takes his scroll and opens it up, and he's like looks at it and looks back at you, kind of squinting. You didn't hear anything I said, correct?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Wonderful. I don't want to be shot. And he kind of goes through it. Do you want the preferred option or just the first one I grabbed?
What are my options?
You have a Lehman Russ gears investigator to make sure the gears on the tracks and treads are still fully functional. He sets off to the side, grabs another one. The other one is... Oh no, that wouldn't work at all. We don't want you testing out Bane Blades on a non-Bane Blade planet. He puts that to the side and takes out another scroll, looks at it. To test to see if the water is suitable for the Londer Hive and those living within the Factorum can still drink it. And then you have... Unscrolls another one. A god superior to make sure that the Ministorum is successfully being guarded by those who wish to obtain glory within the empire of the Imperium.
So, question: What is that last one again? Send that to me.
Basically, you would be there to inspect the guards to make sure that they are doing their job inside of the Ministorum. It would be your fake alias. You don't have to do it. It's just basically a backup cover for you.
Backup as to why I'm there.
Uh-huh.
It sounds like a promotion from what I am now. I'll take the guard inspector.
Alright, he kind of looks at it. Your name is now Mixin. M-A-X-I-N. You need to make sure to let the other one know that you have to return these when you return to the ship. We have very important cataloging to do with these.
To return the aliases.
Yes.
Okay.
That is fine, Army, but you have to roleplay out.
Yeah, I'm just giving you a heads up.
Alright. Leans forward. What about you?
Lana steps forward as she leans against the table uncomfortably close to the old man. You can give me whatever alias you like, but I request for the name to be Keishera.
Alright. You see him take a quill and, like, what would take a normal human of the Imperium about 5 seconds to write, it takes him about 15. It looks very nice, but you could tell he's very shaky and very methodically stilling his hand. As he does, she reads to you, You will be acting as that who ensures that the faith of the God Emperor is not being washed away from the people of the Hive City. Is that acceptable for you?
I wouldn't dream of anything better, my dear friend.
And he hands you the scroll. You're too kind, thank you. It's too long we get some nice people in here at the Administratum.
She offers him a masked smile and she nods. It was a pleasure meeting you, as she pulls back and crunches the scroll into her hand and then proceeds back to the door.
Alright, he kind of says, Goodbye and be safe. Return my scroll.
Turn the scroll or suffer my curse. Alright.
Real quick, Santoy, just to answer that. Your job is basically just making sure they're doing their job. They're actually guarding the facilities that they're posted at.
Okay, and then
like
as an
their
inspector-
uniform, their equipment, everything still needs to look top shape. That way, they don't look like they're slacking guards. This is basically what your alias is there to do.
Basically that they are where they're supposed to be, doing what they're supposed to be doing, and not violating this rulebook that I'm supposed to be following.
Yeah.
Okay.
And my character is more or less making sure that the hive world is seen.
Is there a particular rank that comes with being a guard inspector that like?
Oh, you're
like-
working for the fucking like high echelon of the Imperium, so you don't even have a rank. You're just simply recognized as you're really fucking important.
Oh, I'm gonna show up in a uniform and everyone's gonna panic and salute me, essentially.
Essentially. For you, Lana, basically, your job is basically like, have you said all of your tendencies and prayers to the God Emperor? No, please go and see your nearest zealot and or priest in order to clear your head of your conscience of becoming chaos. Thank you.
Oh, diplomat, got it.
Emperors.
Except a lot more violence. Yes, the God Emperor needs to be pleased.
Emperor's mercy.
Emperor's mercy. As you all
Question
kinda...
exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. How many people rank above guard inspector, so I know who I can throw the
the
rule
only
at
person
and
that
who
would
can
really
beat me with it.
rank above this in terms of the planet you were going to be on, in this hive world, would be pretty much anybody from anybody from the piece of shit image. Anybody from the Cathedral of the Emperor's Light. Anybody from any of the like large faction or industrial owner. Anybody who basically seems like they have literal like thrones, which is the currency, like pouring out of their pockets when they walk and don't care. That, and you do not fuck with like the religious leadership of this hive world, because they will fuck you immediately. Like, are you trying to tell me what to do, Godsman? Pulls out chain sword and stabs you. Heretic!
Boy.
Have someone with a chain sword.
Would that also include like the planets like governor, and then
Yes.
any like guardsmen, like command structure personnel who
Pretty much you outrank everybody, but basically like think of like a post commander. Other than the post commander, which you've pretty much been an equal playing field, so you outrank pretty much everybody, including commissars.
Oh, I outrank commissars too?
Squishy and Larry, you two should know how big of a thing that is. Commissars
Yeah, that's pretty big.
are very, very, very big. Like, they could tell a general... Like, they were equals with generals.
And I outrank them.
You outrank them.
You
They-
can.
Oh,
And
so
fun fact: if I have a perils of the warp, you have the right to execute me. Right now.
you have a perils of the warp, I can just shoot you.
Yes.
Yeah.
In the head.
Yeah,
Interesting. Keep that in mind.
But don't do that.
don't do that.
He's breaking out, man!
It's vibrating uncomfortably!
Psyker starts vibrating. Well, guess it's time to put him down.
if I'm
Lana's
close-
gonna walk in
Going
the room
towards
like, yeah,
Slanesh.
this... Lana's gonna walk in and be like, yeah, Leary's screaming uncontrollably in the other room and just gonna walk in with a magnum. Hold on, I'll be right back.
Bang!
Like,
Leary is
start
screaming.
going really hard, and like start beams of light come out of my mouth. Like, be scared.
Leary's screaming, and her eyes are bleeding. There's
For...
beams of light coming out of her face.
So after gathering up the fake identity, please tell me you all wrote down the names of your false identity.
I did.
Yes.
I think I have it handled.
I know you have
He
it
said-
handled.
I don't know how the guy pronounced the name he gave me, but it's Maxin, right? M-A-X-I-N. Okay, Maxin.
Like the Maxim machine gun.
Yeah, gotcha.
Do you all want to do anything before you all get into the dropship to drop down to the hive world?
Do I need to go get like a uniform that befits being a guard inspector?
You literally can wear your normal uniform. The point is to blend
You're-
in, to make people think you're just a normal guardsman. You're like, aha, I got you, I'm a guard inspector, fuck you.
You're just gonna hand draw ranks, just extra ranks on your shoulders.
Just in the dropship with a Sharpie, just coloring them.
30 chevrons, 72 rockers.
I think
Exactly, bro. Yeah.
Yes, Army.
You know what? The Imperium is that ridiculous.
What's up, Army?
knowing Lana, she would definitely want to get to know her teammates a little bit more.
Okay.
And she's noticed that Ventium has been a little bit on edge and a little uptight. So, of course, she's going to try to loosen him up a little bit as she walks over and examines the scroll that's in his hand. Quite the upgrade for you, isn't it?
I suppose.
So Alta is going to be using her time to make a mark of the uh, uh, guy who handed our documents to us for his offhanded comment. Figuring out how he moves, where he goes to, and she's going to sit on that for the moment.
Alright. Continue, Lana and Ventium.
What is it?
If you all wanted to continue, by the way, feel free.
I'm sorry, you keep breaking in and out.
If you and Ventium want to finish your RP, you can.
Okay.
The bot
Lana
stopped
chuckles. Lana chuckles just softly. Wow, you are really, really uptight. You should relax a little bit more.
I don't have time to relax.
Oh, you have all the time in the world right now. We're not going to get
About
off the
world.
ship. Oh. It sounds like someone has a little bit of a sore spot.
I just
Don't talk
ignore.
about worlds.
I pull out my space rock and I hold it in my hand.
Aw, someone's keeping a pet rock. How endearing. Lana walks away with a chuckle. At least you're a little bit more lively now.
Pentium does not like Lana anymore.
Lana will remember this.
No, Ventius will remember.
Yeah, more like
Ventius
Ventius will remember
Ventius
this.
will remember this. Telltale Games.
She made
Lana
fun of
just
Cadian
wanted-
Rock. They made fun of my Cadian Rock. Guardsman shooter.
She made fun of my planet being blown up. No, I'm kidding.
I feel like there's a reasonable thing to be upset about.
No, you have a right to be upset.
The thing is, Lana she wants to see how much she could push people and see what she can, like. I'm not gonna spoil it. Never mind. Go ahead.
You're good. So I think that RP is all done, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Lana got what she needed out of that.
If I'm assuming we're all bunked near each other.
You'd say yeah.
Okay, so as you guys are coming back, when you look inside of Leary's room, you can kind of see her just kind of like slightly, like she's on her bunk bed, kind of has her eyes closed, gripping a symbol of the Imperium around her like a neck traveling through the warp. You kind of see her like swaying back and forth a little bit, very lightly. Clearly concentrating on something.
Question.
Yes.
So as a being in the Imperial Guard, would I have any sort of like knowledge of kind of like understanding of like what like the Psychers kind of like basically do and like what that whole like what Leary's doing in her room kind of means? Or like just like a bit like not necessarily like exactly what they're doing, but just kind of the understanding that it's something that shouldn't be interrupted.
You would know this is not to be interrupted. You don't know too much about the Astro Telepathica in order to want to interrupt such a thing. Because basically, it's like, imagine walking inside of a mosque and you being like, oh, let's go poke the person praying. You don't want to mess with a person who just has, like, power that could really make your head explode.
Mm-hmm.
So you're kind of back and away from such a idea?
I hope I repeat that picture. Well,
I think
And then-
properly, Coots. If you kind of know what
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I'm
And
trying
then would like
pick
in the battle for
through there.
Arcadia would. I don't mean to interrupt you.
yeah, just think of somebody
Right there, look at Dark Heresy.
kind of like ripping onto their. Oh, you're good, brother. Dark, kind of. Anyways,
And then, in addition to just like, would my character have any sort of like understanding of like not to mess with that? Would my character, like having fought on Cadia, would they have seen any like psychers in like action, like fighting or doing anything, and kind of understand what they're capable of?
And you know they're very, very capable of doing things that are quite fucky. Something that will make you go, I want to be away from that. So you
I'm gonna stay on this side
Yeah,
of the
you
ship
wanna
because
give that
that
a
one
wide
can turn me
berth.
inside out.
Mhm.
Accurate.
Gotcha. Okay.
Anybody else want to do anything else before getting on the side of the dropship?
Leary is fighting away the whispers right now.
Yes,
What?
you are. Oh, would you
Don't
want
ask.
to,
Don't worry
let's
about
do a fun scene. So, as you pray, Leary, you have the beats close to you.
I need to learn some of the Imperium prayers. We should do
I will.
one of these days.
Well, we will go over it. Don't you worry. Go ahead and roll me. I'm gonna say a. Roll me a.
Something check. Got it.
Roll me a second a psychic science. Plus 20. I didn't say that, so add 22. All right, you succeed. Only for a moment in your head do you hear. After that, you're able to concentrate more on what's happening in front of you. You're able to find peace with your prayers and concentrate. And you feel as if whatever was trying to invade your mind, you're able to ward off. You were able to ward off.
Yes. Yeah. As the whisper comes, she kind of grips the crucifix harder, or the imperial
yes.
symbol harder.
Inquisitorial rosé.
Yeah. Just grips it harder as she. Now the prayer is a little bit more audible. She really wants to get out of the ship, or at least the jump.
Oh, right whenever you finish your prayer, you will exit the jump, actually. Seems like that whisper was the one thing that might have made its way through the Geller field. As you enter inside the system, you can feel the ship kind of heave and hurl as it stops through going through the warp as you emerge, and you kind of hear over over the Vox that's kind of like stationed above all the ships kind of like aligning the walls, kind of crackle and crack to life. You feel almost more comforted knowing that you're no longer projecting your way through an unholy void of demonic energy as you hear.
Attention, attention. We have arrived at the destination. Praise the God Emperor, and thank him for his mercy.
And you, anybody nearby could audibly hear Leary say the echo of her symbol, opens her eyes and lets out a deep sigh.
without anybody else want to do anything else before you get off the ship.
Is it permissible to smoke on the ship?
I'm gonna say yes.
I mean,
Well, Ventium pulls out one of the, what are they called, glow sticks?
yeah, glow sticks.
Glow sticks. He pulls one of those out and lights it up to smoke one before he departs.
Make sure you remove one from your gear. You see where that number 12 is next to the low sticks? Bring that down to an 11. Alright. You light it up and you kind of sit there smoking, and as you do, you see a young man kind of come in, look at all you. Oh, you're the one I'm taking down.
Sorry, what? What?
Are you the one I'm taking down?
Leary gets up and dusts herself off a little. Yes, I believe, we're the ones that are being sent down to this planet.
Alright. Have any of you ever been on a dropship before?
Yes,
Ventium,
I guess.
Red shakes her head.
Alright, gotta go and skip over the block of instruction where I tell all of you not to die. All of you hop in the back, and we'll be setting down shortly.
Thank you, sir.
Please describe where
Right.
all of you get in, and who goes in first, and where you all see.
Now Leary, as she's, we have arrived, she starts grabbing her gear. It's a staff. She puts it on her back. That's the Imperial, the little bird on top.
Mm-hmm.
The Aquila.
The wing.
Yeah, an Aquila.
Mhm.
Sorry.
Whatnot. Yeah, she just has it on her back, a little, mostly for herself.
Alright.
Red will make one last check of her gear. What the fuck is that? I guess that's the notification of a GM typing. Anyway, Red will check her gear, slide her las pistol into the holster, and make sure the chainsaw's all good to go, and then step onto the dropship.
Alright.
Find a seat close to the door, but like in the middle of the ship, basically.
Alright.
Khan will just slide in, find a location.
You liquefy yourself and become a gelatinous mass as you slide through everybody. Alright, Ventium.
Ventium,
Appalled by the gelatinous mass before.
yeah, very concerned about what just happened. What the fuck?
What in the gods name?
Ventium, with practiced efficiency, inspects his gear one last time, dons the issued flak armor that he's received from the guard, and shoulders his ruck bag, which to the side has his magnoculars, and grapple on line hanging from the side, grabs his las gun and proceeds out of the dropship.
Alright. Lana, what about you?
Lana stands there. She sways back and forth, watching everyone check their things, her hands laced behind her back as she watches everyone proceed into the dropship. Yeah. She doesn't seem too bothered with her belongings as they are. In fact, they seemed rather well concealed for the most part. Obviously the things that she can't hide, but she just follows behind, hands laced behind her back, aloofly walking into the ship whenever everyone's proceeded forth, and then promptly finds a spot kind of off to the side to sit down.
Alright. As you all sit in, you all hear a voice come through the Vox inside.
Hi everybody, before you leave, it's me, Inquisitor Crucius again. letting you know whenever you touch down, what you want to do is immediately head for the Administratum. They have something there to show you, which is why you're being contacted to enter this hive world. Make sure you get in contact.
Right when he says that last part, the ship drops and cuts all communication to the Vox. And while they're descending into Lunan, I'm now going to share an image for all of you to see what Lunan looks like. I'm going to
When
change.
it feels like loading. There it is.
Can I make this image bigger?
You
Yeah.
can hit the arrow button that says sideways to the to the top right. Click it, and it will open up the image fully for your background of your screen.
Ah, there we go. Wunderbar.
Are we dropped at the top or the bottom?
You're entering the top. The bottom is like, you fucking piece of shit. Not you all. The bot.
Wow.
Shut up.
Rude.
Wait, who are you telling to shut up? Us or the bot?
The bot.
Both of them.
Nah.
Everybody, all of you, be quiet. I'll try to put in some music. There we go.
RDM, please shut your mouths.
Yes, Squishy. He technically his title is interrogator, not inquisitor. So yes, the inquisitor you talk to is actually an interrogator. He works for Inquisitor Crucius. Thank you, Squishy.
It's for anyone that doesn't know, interrogators, it's an inquisitor in training, basically.
So
They're like
you'll-
the second in command.
you are
So
gonna
what
be-
level is the Ministerium on?
That's a good question to ask people when you land.
Oh, it's not like an organized, like preset place.
This
Got it.
music
Wait
is
to
going
not
way
die.
too hard for what we're doing right now.
I get the feeling like I'm gonna be attacked as soon as we land.
Yeah.
That's the hope.
sounds
Um,
it sounds like we're
actually
flying
gonna
to a
have you all-
fucking war zone.
Everybody, let's
God.
have a fucking vote.
Not again.
So everybody, if you right-click on the map image, you'll see a pointers button. And you can click on draw arrow once you click on pointers. You can do something like that. Let's all go with a decision of where you all are landing. You can land anywhere above the brown, clouded-looking shit.
Kind of greenish, though.
No, you can land above the brown. Like you can land in the white or the bluish green shit.
Rather.
My arrow is
Wait.
pointing the wrong way, but
You're good.
Wait, how do I draw?
get your
How do I
point.
draw that arrow?
Right click, pointers, draw arrow.
there,
One
I
of you is
fixed
a
it.
follower
It's just a
instead of a
space marine.
leader.
We're just gonna crash into the wall, and it's. All right. So what it's looking like is we get a two to everybody's one. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove the markers. You're landing at that area with 5 and 7. So I'm going to be deleting your markers and drawing a circle where you all are landing, which is right here. As you all enter in the dropship, eventually it touches down. The ramp opens up, and before all of you.
Leave.
Kills music.
Stands the death of all. I don't know why I killed the music, because actually I meant to skip it, not kill it.
Music is kill.
I think you offended the music bot.
You offended
Offend me,
the music bot's machine
I
spirit.
apologize, Omnisaya, forgive me. You notice that there is a large gathering of people. Most notably a taller man, dressed in very formal wear. Behind him is a lot of people. They're all kind of wearing very traditional, what you would know as robes of the cathedral that is up here. The man who stands before you, as all of you see the ramp drop down, sits there with a smile. His hands are in a lace in front of him as he sits there and smiles, waiting for all of you to exit the dropship.
Did they react differently as soon as Leary comes into view?
They don't actually. They seem to have a very good demeanor of hiding any emotion that they would seem as rude or offensive.
Are they doing anything odd? Are they doing anything in like particular? Is there any sort of activity going on, or are they just standing there?
Looks like they're standing there waiting for all of you to touch down.
Someone else
So-
want to step out first?
Yeah, when we land, when the ship finally, gets to the destination, Leary lets off a little sigh as she gets off the ship. Just glad to be on some sort of land and not space for the time being. And makes her way over to the waving priest, I'm assuming.
Well, there's a line of priests behind him. The person at the very front is smiling, dressed very formally. You would actually, all of you, go ahead and roll me a common lore check.
Any bonuses or no?
I'm gonna say flat, because none of you are really
Nice.
done with religion.
Give me a second. I'm trying to get back to my character sheet.
You're good.
Oh,
Sergeant Vintium understands the mission.
He understands it real good.
I know this information.
Okay, so what am I rolling again?
You're rolling a common lore check.
Just basic, nothing.
Yep. No bonuses, no negatives. This is way too epic.
Why you just
Oh God, we're in danger.
play one of the more toned down songs from fucking Dark Tide?
I can't. Wait, I can.
Why
but-
not?
Hang on. Let me. Hang on, everybody. We're gonna have a quick pause here.
He's trying to soothe the machine spirit in the bot. He's rubbing the sacred oils all over the server.
It has to be over his robes, and then he has to do the little instance.
All right.
The question: when it comes to interacting with people who are in higher up positions, is there like a certain way that I have to interact with them or like, approach them, or can I just like talk?
You can just approach them. Like, if you were just a regular ass guardsman, like they'd be like, "Why dost thou walk up to me without proper procedure?" But since you all are dropping out of an inquisitorial ship, it's one of those things of like, oh, like these guys, like, are gonna treat me like an equal.
Okay.
You are the only person to recognize who this is, Tristan, aka Sergeant Vintium, aka Maxim. I don't know why I said it that way, because that was incorrect. But anyways, you looking at this person, you can definitely tell immediately what he is. He is a member of the... One second while I go through my notes. There I have too many notes. Oh, God. He is a member of the Adeptus Ministorum.
No, so the
Which-
very people that we're supposed to be go meeting.
Yes.
Bro, I'm freaking good.
No.
Yeah, so I guess I just approach him and I guess address him as I guess we weren't informed that you were waiting for us.
He smiles, looks at all of you. Oh, please, allow all of your compatriots to come before addressing. I mean, we have much to discuss.
Once others have stepped off the ship, Red will make her way off. hiding her face a bit, knowing that she might not, or these people from the upper hive might not like to see someone like her here.
Again, they're very good at hiding their emotions. So, as you all are stepping off, they're just very much they seem happy to see you. But, allow me to get my camera on. This is basically what they're doing.
The fakest smile.
I'm having fun.
Brother, these people seem a bit sketchy. Oh, indeed, brother. That's basically what they're doing.
the poverty.
That one can turn into slime.
As that one can turn into slime. As you'll move forward. Hello, we here at the Ministorum wish to give you information based upon what we have learned. Excuse my adept. We wanted him to introduce themselves and not to scare all of you off, for the God Emperor's sake. Praise be unto his name, he who guides the light through the warps and throughout all of Holy Tower and throughout the rest of the systems of the Imperium. We wish to discuss a recent finding we had.
Is Inquisition really the best place to discuss this?
There's no one here. We are at the top of the city. Who's going to be eavesdropping?
Ears can be anywhere.
Roll.
Please continue, sir.
Hang on. Are you trying to be serious? Or you're trying to get inside?
Well, I was like, I'm more of just kind of thinking PTSD is the guy, my character's on edge and always.
Okay. Roll me a security with +10.
Security with +10.
Mm-hmm.
Where can I find my security?
It's in your skills. It's near the bottom.
In alphabetical order, should be.
You see it?
Do, do, do. Alright. Kind of looks at you going, I've been here for over 50 years. I know what's safe. And he looks out to all of you. Who would like to be given the scroll of what we believe to be, well, odd?
Lana steps off the ship.
Well,
Go ahead.
oddities are my Okay, sorry.
No,
you
go ahead.
Oh, well, Leary's being one for knowledge of the strange, I'll take a look at it first. Leary extends.
Alright, 1 second.
While Kits is 1 seconding, Lana is just going to shift up close to Leary as her eyes drift over to the parchment.
Okay, if you're doing that, I'm going to do something real quick. This right here is, so everybody can see it, this is right here is what the parchment says.
Okay.
Lana hums a curious hum as her eyes narrow out the parchment, and then she looks around to the individuals that greeted them.
Leary, kind of, as she's reading, she kind of raises her other hand over to her lip, kind of pondering. It seems a bit strange. Heresy of some kind?
This parchment was passed down from the many scribes we have. It does not
match what was supposed to be written, which might seem weird, but there were 87 copies made of this, and 36 were handed out before it was gathered by us to ensure that the holy word was spread correctly. This heresy most foul, and the adept who wrote it has not been seen since.
Whereabouts was he, when he went missing?
Well, he was inside of the royal scribery.
Larry kind of starts passing around the note, the parchment.
And it kind of like looks all you again.
We'll need to make sure we get inside at some point, too. Though I still know we're safe right now. And about 2 days hence, the sun will be blotted out for a period of 36 hours. And we don't want that to happen while we're out here. It gets quite cold.
Yeah, could I make a, cause I have the skill. What's my skill? Where is it? Talent. Yes. Can I use warp sense here? Like,
For
if
the
I can
note.
detect any. No, warp just like in the area. Anything that's
You
strange.
sure can, plus 20.
And what skill would that be? Psychoanalysis or
That would be
forbidden lore?
forbidden lore. Also, everybody, I recommend taking notes. Everything I put is important. Do not lose the things I give you. Especially if I put in the chat bar. That means it's extremely important. You have a feeling that the sun being blotted out, you've actually read about this before, not of this planet, but of other planets. There's an effect with a warp storm. Sometimes they'll happen in space, and sometimes they happen on a regular basis. You have a feeling this is one of the planets where a warp storm blots out the sun for a short period of time. It still casts light, but it is a black and dark purple light.
Almost like an eclipse.
Similar, but there's still light. And foul things can
Larry
run
kind
amok.
of Larry kind of widens her eyes. A strange note, and if I may be so bold, is this sun being blocked out for 36 hours? Is it pertaining to a warp storm?
Indeed it is.
See. I know it gets cold, but we do need to. It would be wise to investigate. There's many foul creatures that tend to, or events that happen during this allocated amount of time.
Indeed. He kind of walks inside with all of you. Notice this is a very large, like cathedral. Imagine like grand Roman architecture level.
Larger.
Larger.
Look at how many stories that is.
I'm saying just for the place alone.
On the smaller side.
So once you're inside, before we continue, does anybody have anything they want to RP for entering or any questions?
No question from me.
Go ahead.
I would like to be trying to read the people, any expressions, anything on them that out of place.
Let's see.
I was gonna ask if Venteam could do the same, just kind of seeing if there's anyone who stands out, anyone who maybe appear to be observing them, or well, not everyone's looking at them, but anyone who's kind of like out of place, like they're not just like there like watching, they're kind of like
both of you roll me a inquiry with +10.
Inquiry.
Nobody feels like they're out of place.
Do you mind if I do the same?
That's perfectly fine. Everybody feels like they're perfectly fine.
Everybody's doing it.
Well, everybody jump off a cliff. I'll jump off a cliff too.
Unironically, yes.
Leary is 100% not doing this. She's more looking for warp things.
What was your
Lana may be whispering some things to herself as she pulls out some notes and begins to write a few things down, which she promptly stashes away within her armor.
Also, fun fact for both Army and for Santoya, if you two click on player, you can click on notes and you can actually make your own notes in the game.
Ah.
So
Be
as
like me and just have a Google Doc.
you proceed into this grand area, you see a lot of them just kind of disperse, go back to doing what they were doing, and the older one who was talking to you, along with the younger acolyte, turn to look at you. So, any questions? Feel free to ask. And he kind of points his arm to the left and points at a barren desk. This is where the acolyte stayed. It's where he wrote these scriptures, actually.
Leary kind of taking the sides of the cathedral. I'm assuming they're really grandiose.
Yes.
Beautiful. She'll look over to the older clergyman. I don't know. What a beautiful cathedral. Akin to those in Terra, almost.
It took us quite time to build this, but we wanted to make sure we had the best one we possibly could to tide back the forces from when the storm happens, and the Goddamn shall protect us. I've survived 200 different instances where the sun was blotted out.
Wow, that's quite a long time with these warp storms.
The warp storm's nearly always that common. Or that
Yeah.
frequent.
Normally, yes. We can almost pinpoint the exact time they will happen.
Fascinating. Lear look over to the old gentleman. Are we allowed to investigate his quarters, see if we can find any evidence of where he might be, where he went?
You may, yes. We have a strict belief here, do not touch anything until an Inquisitor does.
Has an Inquisitor investigated?
No, you're the best thing we've gotten so far.
Understood. We'll be sure to be respectful.
Anybody have anything else they would like to ask or say?
Are there any local guardsmen in the area who may have seen anything?
The guardsmen guard the lower part of the world, or the Hive City. They mainly guard the production of tanks, different armaments. They basically keep the rabble from coming up.
You show on a map of the city what level I can possibly find those guardsmen.
So another thing to let you guys know too, these guys know that you're with the Inquisition, but they're not gonna go out and saying, "Oh, these guys are Inquisitors."
Oh,
James?
Lyris just says she's a psyker. She doesn't want to just call herself an inquisitor
Yes, Larry.
because she doesn't want to get. Oh, sorry.
There you go.
Can I use my talent of clues from the crowds to re-roll my attempt to figure out if there was anything weird going on with these people?
Sure can. Do you see the line I made in the Hive Study, by the way, Santoya?
Yeah, shit.
Yeah. Anything below
So they're pretty
that.
much along there.
Anything below it.
Everything below that sucks.
Everything below that's like that's where I can find guardsmen.
Pretty much.
Okay.
Where it rains poop water.
It rains poop water and depression.
Can we get a description or like an image of what what the person we're looking for looks like?
You're asking this to the man?
Yeah.
I can give you a description. I kind of like starts walking away. So if anyone wants to say anything to him before he walks away to get this information.
I want the description of the man that we're looking for.
That will be RB. I need to use the restroom.
Is he going to give us the description?
Yes. He comes back with basically a data pad and gives you this.
Is that information that everyone can see, or
Yes.
primarily? Okay.
Yeah, he gives. Make sure he just passes it around. That way you all know who you're looking for.
Lana's eyes gaze over the information. She looks back to the individual. So, prior to his disappearance, was there anything noted that seemed a little off?
Hang on. I'm trying to add music back real quick. There we go, that works. It kind of looks at you. In terms of oddities, I can't rightly say. He seemed to be doing a good job. He's gone a far way in the last 15 years of his work.
He's
So-
been here at
and
least
the-
15 years and he's never had any issues. No instances, nothing odd.
No,
happening.
no, not that I've seen or any of his companions. Everything seemed to have been perfectly fine.
Inside the Ministorum, it takes like 50 plus years of being an adept to get anything. So this guy's just been on the grind for 15 years, and suddenly just this.
Grinding.
So we got the description. I'm seeing. Okay.
Yep. Welcome back.
Thank you. Is the old man still around?
He is. He's still in front of you. He passed out a data pad of the guy that went missing his information.
Okay. She looks it over and then hands it around. She'll look over to the older man and ask, is there any events that usually occur during these warp storms, or is it simply a chance for strangeness to happen, or anything happen in the lower levels?
About, by the throne, 18 years ago, the warp storm happened. We had a great outbreak, and a great outbreak of a plague happened in the lower sanctums.
What sort of plague?
It's the best way to explain this. Boils upon the face, lesions upon the flesh, vomits, multiple death, many ill factors faced towards people who gathered this. Of course, those of our faith and knowledge know who could have caused this, but his name shall not be uttered inside these halls.
Of course. I believe I know whom you speak of as well.
Army's just T-posing with Santoy in the background like, what the fuck is going on?
Would my
have these
question-
plague? Oops, sorry.
Disregard, don't worry about it. Go on.
No, please.
Well-
No, I'm just wondering is because like, this is mostly just like stuff that stems from my character's background, but like being on Cadia, would my character be kind of like aware of like the different like chaos gods and like
So,
like that.
chaos gods are very kept far away from society. Like, oh, there's nothing bad here. Don't worry about it. So, I'd say it's very unknown to a lot of people, unless you've been in an area where it's being practiced. Like those who grew up in the hive worlds, especially in like the Underhive, which would be Red, Lana, and who was the other hiver?
We don't have it anymore.
Alright, so you two.
It's only us two.
You two would know
Those two.
that there is a chaos god called Nurgle, and Nurgle is basically disease. And people worship him for some fucking reason. You don't know why, you don't really care why, but you've seen it. The rest of you have no idea.
And
would my character have like
Mine's,
knowledge of like
mine's
porn?
fucking Leary.
I think,
They're
Go ahead.
because of yeah.
Go ahead, GX.
No, I was just saying, and Lear would know since her connection to. Yeah, I'm just saying, Lear will know due to her connection, you know, being a psyker. That was it.
Alright. Yeah, you definitely would. You because you would be well versed in the warp.
And I think our Cadian may have seen some blood letters on Cadia before.
That's
the
what I was
fall.
gonna say. That
Yes.
was my follow-up question. Is would I have knowledge of like corn then?
You would have knowledge of there's fuckery,
Mm,
but you wouldn't know his name.
okay. There's shit out there. I don't know what it is, but there's shit out there. Got it.
And it's bad.
There's shit out there. It's bad, and it destroyed my hope. Got it.
Mm-hmm. It's very hush hush.
Gotcha. I thought it was a more widely known thing in Warhammer. So,
Mm-mm.
yep. Cool. Thanks for answering my question.
No problem.
Of the
I see Lana is just absorbing all the information. Oh, see, I'm still trying to wrap my brain around what's going on exactly.
You're good. What do you need help with understanding?
I wish I could like sit here and ask, but I'm not quite sure I grasp the entire thing really, and I'm not sure if
Okay.
it's something that could easily be
I actually
explained.
can do it pretty easily. So, God Emperor, man who uplifted humans, is now a dead body except for his brain sitting on a throne where people like psychers who like Lyrias are sacrificed by 1,000 a day to keep them alive. There are 4 chaos gods. There's Korn, Slaanesh, Tzeentch, and Nurgle. They're all different chaos gods or demons that basically try to pervert and change people to their will. What a warp storm is basically you're tearing in that void to where the demons live. That humanity uses their ships to pass through them to go like light faster than light, but they have to have something around their ship to keep them from breaching into it. So a warp storm is basically like this big giant ripped into hell that basically forms. These people are all just a bunch of religious people. Like imagine like Notre Dame, almost. Like these people are very, very zealot in their beliefs of the God Emperor, who's again just a skeleton on a throne that's being kept alive by sacrificing people daily.
But the common folk, almost nobody knows that fact, that the Emperor is just a skeleton on a throne.
Like a rotting corpse.
That help at all, Army?
Yeah, I think it's just going to take a while for like things to kind of sink in and just kind of get a rhythm, I guess.
Yep, and don't worry, that's why I said if you ever need to ask questions, feel free. You got
I've been trying to get into this for like 4
so.
years, and I still don't understand all of it.
Alright, and so one of the reasons why we're actually keeping the God Emperor alive is because he's how we actually navigate the warp. If he wasn't alive sending out a signal, we wouldn't know where the hell we were.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, you have a bunch of zealots worshipping a vegetable and a throne. Is basically what it is.
Okay, and then is our team technically aware of that or not?
You were not aware that the Emperor is a vegetable. Your job is basically to root out people who don't want to worship the Emperor and lay down justice, aka kill them, because they're heretics.
And then this hive world is mostly comprised of people who do or do not follow.
Almost everybody in the Imperium does. Only little underground organizations, like some areas of the Underhive, would worship chaos demons for power, for longevity, for lust, stuff like that.
Or
that's
a
when
happy
the Inquisition comes.
Yeah.
Or a happy, fun little Tyranid has got their hands on somebody.
Not or that too. That's something we don't need to talk about right now because that will just confuse Army more.
Xenos is for later. Xenos are for later.
Yes.
Okay, and then the context of this note exactly. I'm sorry, I'm trying to...
You're good.
It's a very complicated language, so not having a strong understanding. I'm just trying to wrap my head around the context of this letter.
Alright, so the Imperium of Man is gathering into the hive, shall move forward to be led by many under its banner. Basically, what it's saying is, everybody here will gather together and form a cohesive unit in order to band together and become as one people, basically. Then you have within the Imperium, we know black secrets of the sun will be blotted from within its hollow halls. Basically saying like the Imperium knows secrets that would blot out the sun with the level of secrets, but it's being kept inside of hollow halls and dark, closed off areas. The Inquisition shall come second to show the light of the Emperor of his Emperor of his purity. Basically saying the Inquisition, which is you guys, will come and remove all the heretics and re-show the light of the God Emperor to these people. And then within its dark halls shall glow his light. Basically saying within the dark recesses and scary places, his light will shine. Think of it basically like really high propaganda Catholicism kind of writing.
Gotcha.
Did that help?
Yeah.
Okay. Like I said, if you ever need any help understanding this stuff, please stop me, because I know this stuff can get confusing, and I'm here to help if you aren't fully grasping the lore, because there's a lot of very white parts if you don't know the lore that well. But I don't expect you to come in here with knowing the lore which is bigger than my house.
Yeah. I barely know the lore that much. I know like the basics, really. And one factions.
Beep boop.
So if you need help, Army, just let me know, and I will explain. That's why I said if you guys ever need me to stop and explain something, stop me. That way, I don't keep going to get further and further lost. That way, like you don't like, just don't worry about pausing the moment with the game. My whole thing is to make sure you understand the world you're playing in, because that is what develops the fun as well. Any other questions, Army?
Nope. I think I'm just gonna try to continue absorbing
Okay.
and see what I pull out of it.
All right. So, would you all like to proceed to his desk?
The Acolyte's desk?
Yes.
Sure.
Yeah, is it his desk or like
It's basic. It's a small little air. It's just a small little desk.
It's a broom
in this
closet.
hall, with scrolls everywhere, and you notice there's still ink and a quill sitting inside of it. The ink is almost fully dried now from being exposed to the air. He never corked it again, and you notice that the same message he handed you is halfway written upon a scroll that's on the table.
Lear would kind of look at the other notes that are like sprawled around. Try to. Can I roll like a? I don't know if there's an investigation. Forget. Try to look around for anything strange, maybe of a demonic nature, any symbols or anything that shouldn't be here.
Roll me a search plus 10.
And search.
And Red, try doing that as well.
Yep, plus 10 as well.
Plus, awesome.
You don't have any luck finding it.
Hey,
However,
yo!
Red just like walks up, cracks her fingers, opens up one drawer, and suddenly there's a book. And I need every single person in the party to do me a favor real quick.
Brain
Everybody,
explodes.
roll me a willpower plus 30.
Where's
I
willpower,
don't think
man?
I like this.
Willpower plus 30.
Man.
Alright. Opening it up,
Hell yeah.
Red,
I'm
you're
in control,
fine.
baby.
Leary and Lana, you all are fine. Alta and Vintium, you two are kind of like taken aback. Just like, what is that? You three immediately recognize what this is. This is a grimoire.
Is
Do
there
you
any
recognize it? What it is?
symbols I recognize on it?
Yeah. Can I roll a forbidden lore, the warp?
You sure can. Also, somebody do you know what a grimoire is, Army?
More or less.
Okay, basically it's a forbidden book, which I'm sure, like I said, you already knew what it was. But all right, go ahead and roll me that forbidden lore flat roll, no pluses.
Okay.
You
Oh, come on.
you see the sigil on the front, but you don't recognize it.
Can I do the scrutiny roll?
Yeah, you can. Damn, son.
Jesus.
Looking at this, you don't know what the seal is on the front of it, but you notice that the book is bound. It is not opening. And with observation, you notice that there is an etching of the number 4 upon the bottom front cover of the book.
Lana offers her hand to. It's Larry that has the
Larry-
book, right?
Very
I
quick.
do.
Wait, what?
Red
Good.
does.
Oh, Red
Yeah,
does.
like,
Sorry.
like raises her hands. Kind of. Was it picked up or was it left in the
I picked it up. Yeah.
cabinet that we found? That okay. All right. Just wanted to confirm that.
All right. So, what were you doing, Lana?
Lana moves over to offer her hand towards the book. Do you mind if I say that for a moment?
Red is quick to hand it over. Just get this thing out of my hand.
Leary kind of raises her hand, kind of to stop Lana. If I were you, I would not open that book.
I had no intentions of opening it. I'm just giving it a little bit of a look over. As she rolls the book over in her hand, her fingers poking at the edges of the pages, but not actually opening it. She points out the 4. I don't know what it means, but it sticks out to me.
Maybe it's the 4th volume?
Can I do a scholastic lore roll?
Sure can. Plus 10.
Plus 10?
Swordsman is book smart.
I'm privately messaging it to you on Finish Grounds.
Go look at the stream.
Where can I see the message? Oh, okay.
Um.
Do you want to share that information with everybody, Ventum, or are you going to keep it to yourself?
I was about to.
Okay.
What if the scroll that we have here, this message or whatever that was wrongly distributed that we were called here to investigate about, has something to do with this grimoire, something to do with number 4 on its spine? What if it's like a code? Or like a
Perhaps.
riddle?
That may
On
be
the
so.
scroll there's 4
but I think it's-
sentences. And the 4th sentence is, within its dark halls shall glow his light. Is it?
See.
Go ahead.
No, you're good.
I was gonna suggest that maybe we should. Within its dark halls shall glow his light, so maybe we should take this. Okay. Perhaps we should take this into a dark hall or a dark space and see.
That was the scroll, by the way.
Hmm?
On this relinking the scroll.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Perhaps, the number on this book may be tied or related to something to this line on the scroll. Maybe we should take it into a dark hall or a dark space in general and see if anything happens with this book.
It's always worth a shot.
It's risky.
Yes, indeed.
These type of books tend to break or tend to be a weigh a heavy burden on the mind should you accidentally open it.
I think we were talking about the note.
So we were
Then maybe
talking
so.
about. I meant well, both overall, but yes.
I don't think we have the intention to actually open the book, just examining it. Or perhaps if you're so worried about the book, maybe you should be the one who carries it.
I am the least person that should carry this book.
Then trust in
For
your
I am sensitive
teammates.
with the warp. I trust in the Imperium. I wish to call for the older men to confiscate this and put it into a safe place, or burn it.
And calling for the old man, he'll come back, just waddling up an old person, and I'll look at all of you. Oh, you cold?
We have an item that needs to go to the incinerator.
Indeed. A book most foul. She'll kind of point towards the book, doing her best intention not to look at the book, or her best efforts not to look at the book, or the grimoire, I should say. We found this in the is it covey? Yes.
In a drawer.
In the drawer at the desk for.
And I'd like to see it.
Your acolyte that's missing.
I would like to examine his reaction to seeing this book as well.
His reaction is that of absolute horror, very well hidden behind a calm demeanor. None of you would have to roll to see it. You can tell from interacting with him, he seems almost appalled and surprised at the same time, as he reaches a cloth into his hands and reaches them aloftly for the book, and put in between the cloth.
Now with the book free, Leary feels more comfortable, so she kind of like turns around towards the older man. I also forgot to attain your name. Apology.
My name is Ventian.
Ah, yes, Serventium.
Magos Ventium.
Magos Ventium. Apologies. Would the how would the acolyte have gotten access to a book like this?
I do not know. He says his penances, and he rarely frequents the Underhive, which is the only place I can imagine this being found.
What did he recently have any had to get ink, any sort of supplies? Perhaps on a supply run he had to encountered some shady folk and found this this foul book.
No, he was born here and has lived here his entire life. He does not leave the temple minus to venture to preach the word of the Golden Emperor in the Underhive.
See. Larry kind of just ponders for a moment. Anyone else wanna talk to Ventus, right? Ventus?
Did you say his name was Ventium?
Ventus.
Yeah, Lana is currently staring at the one true Ventium with a quirky smile.
Grandpa?
Grandpa?
I don't actually say that. I don't actually say that.
Magos venti.
Kind of like looks at you, Lana. Just, is there something I can do to help you?
Sorry, OOC. Rereading stuff.
I want to ask, Maga's Ventium. When was the last time that the scribe went down to the Underhive?
Had to have been maybe 3 months ago.
And when was it that you discovered that these out of character, it was the scrolls were the ones that were like the wrong thing that was being sent out, right?
Yes, the thing I linked in chat was the wrong thing being sent out.
Okay, so when did you notice when these scrolls were being sent out and that they were wrong or incorrect?
Oh, as soon as we were able to get our hands on his desk after he abandoned us and left, we then...
And when did he abandon you? When did he leave?
Couldn't have been more than a month ago.
And when did he... Do you know approximately when these started being disseminated?
They just started leaving the shelves. We don't know where they went or who they were sent to.
But you don't know when they started leaving.
No.
I have other questions.
Lyr kind of ponders. When was the last warp storm, sir? Magos Ventium?
About 8-9 months ago.
Did the acolyte start acting strangely after that?
No, he's never seemed strange whatsoever.
How often do these warp storms occur?
They occur every 8 to 12 months.
Were there any out of schedule, by chance?
There's been a few. There was let's see. About 5-6 years ago, there was 27 of them.
27 in one
of them
year.
was horrible.
Yes. I wish to remind all of you, session 1 is always the easiest.
Lyr kind of. I'm aware, Coots. You also typed it in.
We can, you can read.
Oh god, you can read.
I also know what session 2 usually is.
Oh, that's when I die. Got it.
Yep. 100%.
That's all I'm gonna say. Anyways, as she's pondering, she kind of looks over the desk, trying to see if there's anything else she could find. If there's anything else on the desk that isn't just copies of this wrong notice of sort.
And I scrutinize the room as a whole. If anything else worth noticing.
Say that again, Santua.
Can I do a scrutiny check on the room and see if anything kind of stands out?
You sure can.
Anything
Plus
that
10. Actually, no, fuck that. 2 plus 30. Very easy.
plus
check.
30?
Yeah.
You wouldn't happen to have a copy of the message, what it's supposed to be.
You don't see anything out of normal. I... Not on the top of my hands, no.
Can I do an awareness check?
Sure can. Plus
Plus
30.
30 stiller.
Yep.
Rolls are mean.
Can I use the deceive skill to see if anything's been like hidden?
Sure. Just fishing for that one roll.
Yeah, I guess.
Plus 30.
30 again?
Yep. I'm just gonna
Christ
stop
almighty.
you there. Nothing is out of the ordinary. You were fine up here. Do not worry. Everybody's just working away.
Oh.
Yeah, I still have my question was to, or kind of like what I was doing. Is there a role you want me to do to try to see if I can find any notes that isn't what he was writing,
Sure.
like the copies of what he was writing? Or should I
Only...
roll?
Roll me a...
Oops, sorry. I accidentally
How dare
clicked
you.
something.
How dare you? Roll me a contortionist. That's a joke. Roll me a.
Girls of the War.
Roll me a
kidding.
Barrels of the War.
Okay.
Roll me either a search or a scrutiny. Your choice. Plus 30.
What is scrutiny? That's a word I don't think I've learned.
Closely
Scrutiny.
examine.
Okay. Oh, okay.
It's actually with fellowship, so I think it's like a ask tough questions kind of deal.
Scrutiny's not fellowship. It's perception.
I'll do search.
Yeah, it is.
Do I any multipliers if I do search?
I just don't have the
Plus,
search skill.
well, I'll give you plus 20. Yeah, you have the search skill.
Where? I don't see it.
Scroll. Why don't you have the search skill? That's weird.
I have scrutiny and I have security.
It might be because your classes, like certain skills, might be there versus others. So
I'm dyslexic.
you see,
Don't mind me.
capital the, not capital, but like almost like a sharpened in the, sharpened in gathering, and then it just kind of stops there and it seems as if this note was casted as to the side, Barry. It's like really highlighted the Imperium of Man gathering was really written in, and then it just kind of seemed to be tossed.
SpongeBob reference. I'm kidding.
What's this? Oh wait, go ahead, GX. Sorry.
I'm just talking out loud. Sorry, or thinking out loud. Sorry.
What's the style of desk that we have? Is it like boxed in on the side so you can't see underneath it?
Yes.
Alta's gonna look underneath the desk, see if there's any markings.
You do not see any markings.
looking at the sides of the desk where like the legs would be, does it look like there maybe have been any sort of a nervous rubbing of his leg bouncing against it, wearing it out?
Nope. Everything seems
Okay.
to be in order.
He seems to be a fastidious fellow.
I'm going to give all of you a hint again. You see the in the beginning of the statement was highlighted, almost. Gathering was highlighted, and it was tossed to the side.
Libby starts looking over the note while also
Wait. You know how earlier I suggested
putting it side by side to the note that was tossed. Mm-hmm.
you know how I suggested before that the 4 on the on that grimoire might relate to the scrolls, like a kind of code? What if it's
Yeah.
every 4th word? Starting with the and then every 4th word makes some kind of message.
I actually have that information. Lana looks back over the note as she begins reading it out. The gathering shall be under the black sun within the second light of its glow.
Gathering shall be under the black sun in the second light of its glow. What does that mean?
Nothing good.
How many days until next?
Said 36 hours, didn't he?
No, it lasts 36 hours, I think. Right, Coots?
Yes, 36 hours.
Is how long it lasts, or how long till?
How long till? The time
have a day
the
and a
time
half.
it can last can be a lot longer, a lot shorter. It all depends upon the warp and its fuckery.
We have a day and a half until it hits.
Was that in character or out of character?
It was in character. We have a day and a half until the warp storm.
Yes, but we don't really. We have a general idea when they're partaking in this meeting of sort. We do not know where it is, and the undercity underhive is quite expansive, from what I've heard.
Well, a second glow, what I would imagine would be at its peak. Just as any kind of eclipse would have a peaking point. That would be my guesstimation of a second glow. I could be incorrect in that, but
Sorry.
around this time, you hear someone chant, like, it's not chanting, but yelling, coming up from the hallway. You see a younger man, maybe the age of 22, 23, running with a scroll. Just yelling, Magos! Magos! And he runs up to the old man, hands him something. The old man kind of looks over it, walks over to you. We found this in the Underhive, apparently. And he hands you one of the scrolls that you possess in your hands currently. The exact same.
I was about to suggest that we go to the Underhive and start searching there. Now that we have this, I definitely think that we should go search the Underhive.
Indeed. She'll look over towards the. I assume it's one of the acolytes.
Yes.
Good. Okay. And which level of the Underhive was this note found?
We recently found it. It was the first level to the top. It was found.
Can you point it out on the map?
He points out this area.
Okay. Question: As a guard inspector, do I have the authority to have the local Imperial Guard move in and search an area for someone?
No, because that's not your job. Your job is to just do inspections.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
Before we go down, I suggest we get blessed by the sisters.
Indeed. At least we have a place to start. Thank you, Acolyte.
No problem. And this kind of returns to his desk, kind of shuffling his things, and starts writing at the quill. You can tell very nervous.
So Alta's gonna head towards the cathedral to be blessed by the Sisters of Battle.
You are indeed blessed by the Sisters of Silence.
Ooh.
So, Army, there's a whole army in 40k called the Sisters of Battle, and there's also a thing called the Sisters of Silence. They're very, very devoted warriors for the God Emperor that also do this kind of stuff to bless you to descend into dangerous areas.
Ventium also goes.
Alright. They bless you as well.
Question, what is the difference between the Sisters of Battle and the Sisters of Silence?
Sisters of Battle, basically they are warriors that just fight. Sisters of Silence are basically Sisters of Battle, but they have a swore silence of not speaking. And yet they're also vile silence. They're also very terrifying. Like they are very scary. Like if you piss them off, you're dead. Like it's not like you are dead.
Which one blessed?
A random one. Oh no, a random Sister of Silence. It's just there's only Sisters of Silence here. There's no Sisters of Battle.
Oh, okay.
Leary's hesitant to get a blessing from the Sisters of Science,
Okay.
given how being a psyker and also the Sisters of Silence, as you said, are scary.
Yes, very scary.
Rather not die.
What about
Do
you?
you believe the sisters have their own psychers?
They do, but that's not common knowledge.
I guess Leary would know, being part of the Adeptus Astra Telepathica, because they technically, from what I've read, they do monitor. They monitor the other psychers as well.
Yeah, you would.
Okay, then yeah, she would get a blessing.
Alright. What about you, Lana?
I mean, Lana has nothing to lose.
Alright. They give you all blessings, and you may embark upon the long ride down, if you would so wish.
It looks like many
Uh,
transfers to different elevators.
I will ask. Okay. Leary will ask. Magos Ventium. What is the state of the upper level of the Underhive at the moment?
It's an underhive.
Any
It's
distress?
There's always distress in the underhive. It's where the people who do not are deemed fit to live amongst those who work hard live. Scoundrels, thieves, beggars.
Hmm.
Do you know approximately how many gangs are active?
No, I do not have that information.
Would the local Imperial Guard have that information?
I am not sure.
Does anybody have anything else they want to do up here?
I think I'm done.
So, Lana's rethinking over the note. Curious, what do you think is the likelihood of the gathering being at the Cathedral of the Emperor's Light? The only reason I mention it is because directly in the letter, they mention a lot about the Emperor and their light, and we don't really have a going on where that gathering could potentially be. Because they're talking about within the dark halls shall glow his light.
That's a good point.
Perhaps. But I believe we would need some more information that that would be found down in the Underhive. Perhaps.
Before we start poking around a cathedral.
It could be that they're planning a raid on either the Mission of the Holy Martyr or the Cathedral of the Emperor's Light.
That is also a possibility.
Well, just food for thought.
Well, sending around will get us nowhere. I believe we should at least for this first day, investigate the upper Underhive, and then should we find some resistance, make our way back up and reassess the situation. If you are all in agreement, that is.
That sounds like a good plan to me.
I have nothing better to do.
Let us be on our way.
They lead you to actually a direct line down. Now this elevator does not go up, only down, so you would have to take the long multiple elevator ride back up. Well, this suits them all the way down into the Underhive in order for missions to be done for those who need to be purified by the Emperor's light. As you descend, you feel the air growing fouler. Almost, you can taste dirt and grime as you descend. The lights jettison in your eyes, almost blinding you as it scales further and further down into the earth. And eventually, the elevator stops. Feel a heavy jolt as it does.
As we're heading down and we hit that smog layer, Quan will take out her instruments and start acting like she's taking the readings that she's supposed to be taking.
Alright.
I don't happen to have like a mask I can wear as part of like my guard uniform, do I?
This is not what I was asking for, you stupid piece of shit. You can? If you want to. You basically have like a face cover.
I want to pull my face cover up.
Alright.
Or I do. Not that I want to, but I do.
Let me too. Put in better music. I really wish that I could still play Spotify link and the YouTube links. That'd be fucking great. But no, they removed that ability because they're a piece of shit.
They took Spotify links too?
No, they keep Spotify, but they got rid of the, the YouTube ability to play stuff off YouTube. As you step out, you notice around you is a complete 180 from what you just witnessed. The gold architecture, the large arching areas. This area is dark, it's dirty. Looking up is just building upon building above it and above it and above it. There's no light reaches down here. There are shacks, there are different things along the wall. People are walking by. Red and Lana, you two feel at home. This is where you're from. It's a little bit odd for you, Ava, because it's different from your home world, but you're still somewhat comfortable with it. Ventium and Leary, this is the slum of the slums. You guys just walked into the ghetto.
Having walked the dark passages on the large capital ships, I'd feel somewhat comfortable. Plus, it's dark, like space.
Well, Larry just kind of looks slightly disgusted by the stench. Quite an awful place.
What's wrong, dearie? Do you feel a little out of sorts?
Victim just kind of looks around and thinks people live like this.
Well, most of my life has been either on ships or on Terra, so.
How quaint.
Jax is being shot in the chest repeatedly.
Huh?
You're just being shot in the chest repeatedly by Lana, just being like, oh. You've
I
never
just
been to
noticed
this
my mic
spooky
was
area.
muted.
Good job. What were you saying, Squishy?
I want to die. Anyway,
Uh,
I lost it.
What were you saying, Squishy? I want to die.
Scene one,
wait,
High City, scene
so
them all.
Lana...
What?
What was the comment right before I was confused? I got a little confused.
Oh, she just
From
said,
Mom.
are you feeling out of sorts, dearie?
Well, most of my life recently, or my more adult life, has been proving myself to the Imperium as not being a witch. Out of control witch. So yes, I feel out of sort.
Get used to it.
The more relaxed you are, the more likely you are to have the outcome that you're searching for.
Trust me, if I was not calm, we would not be safe right now. Chicken smiles softly.
Well, it's a good thing that you're not a bundle of nerves like some other people. She glances around, not leaving her eye on any individual per se, but that certain individual would know who she is referring to, most likely. If they're paying attention.
Ventium notices Lana's
What?
comment, but ignores her.
$50,000 people used to live here. Now there's a lot fucking more.
There's a billion at least.
Lana doesn't know the may not understand exactly how nerve-wracking it can be to be summoned before an inquisitor or interrogator, not understanding why, or what it's like watching your home world be destroyed.
So are you saying that in character?
I'm just
He's thinking
he's thinking that
Okay.
thinking that because he's ignoring her, he's not addressing her.
Oh, I really wish he would have said that out loud.
That would be funny.
As you all are stepping out the
Lyric.
elevator, the very first thing you hear from inside of here is somebody go, and then you hear somebody else go, "I'll take the grey one." You hear somebody else go, "Oh no, I want that Imperial Guards one right there. He looks tasty."
Lana smiles.
Those were
Aw,
not-
you're wanted.
Juan cracks her neck. Bring it.
You see,
Bring
looks
what?
to be a rather large man stand up from where he was whistling and getting off the elevator, walk up. He's about 6'2", about 250, 260. You can tell he has tattoos all over his body. Kind of walks up to you, looks kind of like down at all of you. Just, I said, I'll take the grey one. And right when he says that,
Down at all of us. He's the same height as me.
oh, okay, but then all of you minus red. At this point in time, you hear a door bust open, and you see what looks to be a Goliath of a man. You would guess 12, 13 feet tall. For
Oh, fuck.
Vintium, recognized immediately to Nogrin, step out in what looks to be a cook outfit. Just like an apron,
Oh boy.
no shirt, so his nipples are completely exposed, the apron kind of barely covering his torso, and pants that kind of go up to his knees, one boot, and one half a boot. As he walks out and goes,
Oi! Leave these ones alone! They only come from above!
and he's like, "What can I do about it, big man?" And you see him immediately pull out a butcher knife the size of one of you. He goes,
I've got you all day! Sit back down!
and he immediately backs off and walks away.
Howard.
Welcome to the Underhive.
Thanks, big
What
man.
is it?
Can I look at the Ogren and I just kind of nod my thanks to him.
He kind of nods to you like,
You're looking for something to eat.
Got a
Actually,
good
let's-
start.
I could do with a
Is
bite,
it
yeah.
cornstarch?
"So, Army,
I don't. I know enough to know that I don't ask that question down here.
Army,
Yes.
there's something called a corpse starch, which, inside of a city that contains a few billion, if not trillion people, they don't really have cemeteries here. They have something called corpse starch, which is just leftover human body parts that have been made into food for the people in the Underhive.
Even in death, they still serve.
In death, you will serve.
Nothing's wasted in the Imperium. Tell you that much.
Understood.
He's just kind of sitting
Hey.
there waiting, hearing all these questions. Goes,
I mean, it's more than just corpse starch, and, I'll give you a discount coming from way up top.
he just kind of stands there waiting for your reply, kind of picking his nose and wiping it on his apron.
So, out of
Maybe.
curiosity, because Lana is from a hive city, would she be more accustomed to agreeing to it?
Yes,
Yeah.
that's your normal food
Yeah.
in the Underhive. That
Question.
is your day to day. Yes.
As
Okay.
an Imperial Guardsman, would I be accustomed to like?
Oh, yes, you
Yes.
would.
Yeah.
The only person here would
100%.
be Leary, who's just like, I lived on Terra.
Oh, so
Leary,
so,
maybe?
well, so I'm perfectly okay with corpse starch, and then being Imperial Guardsman. Am I like perfectly like comfortable and
Yeah.
like used to Ogrins?
All of you are except for Leary.
No,
Not a
not
happy
not for the corpse
experience,
charge. I mean,
but
like,
it's-
am I like used to and comfortable being around like Ogrins?
Ogrins? Oh yeah, Ogrins are big lovable teddy
100%.
bears that will break your spine if you fuck with them.
They're good
Yes,
boys.
but like, is like being an Imperial Guard? Am I used to seeing them and like interacting with them?
Yes.
Yeah,
They're used for labor
They're part of your-
by the Imperial Guard.
labor, and they're basically shock troops for the Imperium,
Okay.
for the Astra Militarum.
Regardless of that context that I don't know, Ventium takes him up on his offer. He's nice and he's being very friendly. And I'm hungry and need on the ship. So I'm stupid.
Lana steps forward.
You're kind of.
Go ahead.
You go on.
Lana steps forward. Well, I did have my drink earlier, and I haven't really had anything to sit on top of it. So, of course, I would love to partake in whatever delicacies that you have to offer.
As the both of you walk over, he kind of looks at the other three. All right, that's.
I'll
He holds up 2 fingers. 1-1.
Oh yeah, can I do like a charm roll?
You certainly can. Plus 30. They're Ogrins. They're not known for their intelligence.
I just want to see how much I could push this.
Oh god.
Oh god.
She's gonna offend him.
Ogren husbando. Either that or offended.
What are you trying to push?
Just favoritism. She likes to make friends in the off chance that she ever needs a friend later on.
He seems to like you. You kind of walk
Okay.
over. He goes, "I had my drink not too long ago either." And you see him show. So he's like, "This is our first one we got down here." So it's fucking like brown.
Full of brown.
Lana just leans in curiously, just humoring the man in his show. But she seems relatively interested, even if she is not.
Okay. The rest of you.
What'd you say?
What about the rest of you?
Okay. You said Leary has not seen Ogrim so far, or would she have seen?
Oh no, you just Ogrins are not unpopular. They're used for a lot of work, so they're pretty much everywhere.
Okay, then.
They do
Leary
dumb
kinda
manual
is
labor.
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, Leary's just kind of like gives like a forced smile towards the Ogrims. I'm not particularly hungry at the moment, but I will sit with them while they eat. I simply wish to find some information or a person that would have information down here in this area.
Right. Just kind of stares at you, dumbfounded, waiting like to see if you have anything more to say, and realizing you don't. Guess. Anyways,
I'm surprised he didn't call me a witch, honestly.
Oh, yeah. I bet an Ogren would have more colorful words for it. Like the ones in Dark Tide will call you Sparky Head. At least if they know you're a psyker.
Arnie, what I sent
Which
you, those are
probably doesn't know I'm a psyker,
Ogrins.
yeah.
Probably doesn't. He probably doesn't understand what you are yet.
Yeah, no, he does not.
Anyway.
Gotcha.
I'll take.
Question. So I see in my languages that I have High Gothic and Low Gothic.
Yes.
They're big
Is
guys.
So like, is that just like the difference in like dialect between like Upper Hive and like Lower Hive?
High Gothic is very upper class. Low Gothic is very all the rest of everything else. Everybody speaks
Oh,
Low
okay.
Gothic.
Gotcha.
High Gothic is like something like, "Oh, parlez-vous français? Oh, oui." Like that, like where people like put their nose up to you, like try to speak a different language because they don't like you. I swear to God, hired gun, I will stab you if you do not stop with the heavy metal.
It's your fault for trying to use 40k Doom music.
Use Necromunda. It's pretty good music.
That's what I'm doing right. Oh,
Yeah,
I can't,
it's a
I can't
strategy
use it
game.
because
He doesn't own it.
He doesn't let me play and I'll own it. There was one person left who had not accepted the Ogren's offering. Who was it?
There was
I
2
had
people
accepted.
left,
Oh, 2 people
but
left.
just me then, I guess. And I think I said yes, but got talked over a few times.
The Ogren leads you into this little tiny shack that has like mismatched chairs. They all wobble regardless of what they look like. Regardless of what you put under them, they still wobble. Tables are wobbly. It's a kitchen with basically just a fire, corpse starch, and like random doodads. And you see him just kind of sitting there just cooking this. I just kind of like singing to himself as you all take a seat. Do you all want to say anything? Or are you going to remain quiet till the Ogre brings you food?
I'm falling asleep.
Red's gonna like drag a chair over and just lay one leg upon it. If no one else
Indian
is
pulls
using
up a chair and just sits down.
as she awaits.
Lana sits within eyesight of the man as he works, and she just kind of sways to the little tune that he is singing, keeping herself engaged with the individual.
Can I, no, never mind.
He notices you kind of swing back and forth. He kind of gets a little louder. He's like, and then looking for me, and then my family. It's like it's a very mournful, sad song. We sing it very cheerfully.
Lana begins clapping along to it.
After you clapped along and you've had fun, and you sit there with a big old smile on his face, he walks over and sets food in front of all of you. These bowls are about the size of maybe your whole head, just full of just different shit. And like you don't know what it is. And
It's just gray and brown and
green.
not green.
And he just kind of takes like this big giant metal container, just sits atop it. As all of you sit there and eat, like get ready to eat. He's like,
Please, I like watching my people eat. Like to make sure their belly's full.
Oh, okay. Tim starts eating this food.
Bond
Can't be-
very eagerly starts eating, but as she's doing so, she's also looking at the readings of the instruments to see how bad this poisonous smog is down here.
And Tim doesn't pay attention
Larry
to any of
is
that.
not touching the
It's
food
no
right
worse
now.
than any of the battlefields he's been on.
Red will also start eating, not caring in the slightest what it actually tastes like or how the Ogren prepared it. More than happy to just be
Tim
eating.
is just Vindy is just happy to have food. It can't be worse
Yeah.
than the battlefield.
Basically, yeah.
Lana, you notice that yours has a little special garnish on top.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. It looks to be like 3 or 4 random things, like little like I don't want to say it's edible. I think it's like little metal scraps. You kind of like put in to try to look like it's fancy. And he's kind of like just like,
Make sure you don't eat the sharp bits because I don't want to hurt you.
Lana looks up at him, her offering her masked smile once more. Oh, you're too kind. As she picks up her spoon, as I imagine I can't fork what I'm about to eat, she moves her mask in a way that allows her to eat, but not removing the mask. As she takes a spoonful and then hums happily, tastes just like home. As she moves the little bits off to the side, very careful not to ingest them.
you see him as you all are eating. He kind of reaches his hand back and scratches his ass and smells his finger, and is like sits there like joyfully watching all of you eat his food. And he's like,
Right, you all need anything else, let me know. My name is Grogan, by the way.
Grogan, thank you
Grogan.
very much.
Don't ask me to spell it, I never learned how to spell.
Can I ask him if he can, if he could maybe, tell us if he's seen someone?
I don't know. Can you ask him if he's seen anybody?
There's no chance.
There's no chance he doesn't understand. I want to ask him if he has seen the scribe we're looking for, and I give him the description of the scribe and a name.
I'm not too good with names, but there was a man like that came down the elevator a while ago. A while.
I see.
He ran that way.
He points his finger further into the underhive.
Into the underhive.
Mm-hmm. Further in.
Any idea where he was going?
No, he didn't stop and talk, even though I offered him food.
Off the root of him.
Yes.
He seemed like he was a busy man carrying all the things he was.
What was he carrying?
He kind of like looks really confused and like points at Leary's purity seal. He's like,
That big.
Big books?
They were all rolled up.
Rolls?
Nice.
Yeah.
Yes.
Looking around his shack, are there symbols of the Imperium and the God Emperor in here?
There is. He has a very poorly drawn, like, imagine a toddler with charcoal pen drawing the Emperor and posting it on the wall. That's basically what he has.
Amazing.
Adorable.
Question. While they're inspecting the shack for all of that, can I take a look at the Ogryn himself and see if he's got anything that might suggest if he was like in the Imperial Guard at one point?
Roll a scrutiny with plus 20. There is no indication to you that would show that he served in the guard.
Man, these rolls.
You're just getting bad rolls,
have
man.
been mean to
No,
them.
right? Can I do an awareness roll for the same thing?
Sure. Meanwhile, Lana's just been like rolling like almost crits all night.
Either my stats
Heck.
are shit, or the game just doesn't like me.
Before you roll,
It-
top right hand corner you see a dice under tools.
Top right hand corner, I see. Yeah.
Click on that and change the color of your dice.
It might help. It might not. That's the way it goes.
We're doing awareness.
Nope, did not.
Fuck.
Still no. You don't see
Rolled the same.
anything that would indicate him serving by his posture. By the way, he's.
Can I ask him directly if he
Yeah,
served?
again, you don't have to ask me. You can directly ask if you want to
I'm
do
just
that.
yes. Directly ask.
How do you ask him?
Just RP.
Is that a? Tell me, friend. Have you served in the Imperial Guard?
I did for a short stint. I was the line cook, and then, I, was relieved due to suffering a wound.
Oh, what wound?
I forget their names. They're big bug thingies. It bit me behind, and ever since I've had a rush.
See. Wait.
Hearing that, I'm gonna inspect his drawing of the God Emperor a little bit more closely.
All right, roll me a
Big
scrutiny.
bug thing bit his. How long ago was it that this thing bit you?
Long ago. Asking an Ogren to tell specific time is like asking a small child to
It's
tell them when
impossible.
1776 what happened. They have no fucking idea.
Can I use Medicaid to? I want to use Medicaid to inspect his.
You want to see his ass?
You want to stare
I'm a
at
medic, am I not?
All right, roll me a Medicaid plus 20.
And for my scrutiny, is a straight roll?
Straight
or...
roll because you would not know that much.
Oh, sorry, wrong one.
Motherfucker.
Roll it again. I'm going to give you
Come
the Emperor's Grace and allow you to re-roll that Ventium.
Ah,
Remember, you can burn a fate, and you get them back every single session, as long as you don't permanently remove it to keep you from dying. To immediately
Yeah, I'm burning a
succeed
fate.
roll. All right. Looking at his wound, Ventium, it is definitely—it's not infected, but it definitely has left a fissuring wound, which causes him to itch.
I believe the term you were looking for is use a fate point, not burn one.
Yeah, use a fate point. Do not burn one.
You said they reset every session?
Reset
Yeah,
every session.
using resets, burning removes it completely.
Okay. So, it's still an open wound.
No, it's still just there's a lot of micro bumps on it, not from what you would guess would be an infection, or more so just a result of an allergic reaction to whatever happened. Are you burning, or not burning, are you using a fate point, Larry?
Yeah.
It is the regular Emperor. There is nothing else different or weird about it.
all right.
Keep using fate points.
Question: the when the Ogren talking about bug things, those are Tyranids, right?
Yes.
Tyranids biting people.
Epic ass metal music!
Tyranids
Epic
biting
ass
people
metal
is
music
kind of a bad
because-
thing, right?
So Ogrins have a little bit thicker skin than humans do. What would typically remove a human's hand might just be, ow, there's a very large gash in my ass.
But even though he's got, but like, isn't it that like one of the ways that Tyranids spread is by like infecting
No.
people? No.
I would
okay.
be worried about the potential kids that he could have later.
You can have Tyranid kids.
Larry, do not speak any further. That may or may not be used later in this campaign.
God damn it.
Mother. Okay. Well,
God.
there's nothing I can do about his.
This is my
weird
son,
bug
he's
bite.
purple.
This is my son, he's purple. Oh no.
He also got forearms, he's a mutant. But no, he seems rather happy, and I'm gonna go ahead and call session there. So, thank all of you. One person who's watching will be here back again next week, same time, same
The
place,
one person
same
is
thing.
you.
Goodbye.